Brr. It is starting to get cold in Colorado. The temperatures are going down, and what a beautiful fall we've had. The colors have been exquisite, and yet I can feel in my bones how the transition is happening. And I thought we'd talk this week a little bit about transitions and how wonderful they can be, and also how intense they can be because we tend to get used to something, such as I've been used to the warm weather, the light in the evening. So my body and my rhythm are very attuned right now to the weather. And all of a sudden, it feels like, of course, it's not all of a sudden, but that's what it appears to be when I look out or when I wake up and I need to turn the heat on. All of a sudden, my body just starts giving me all kinds of signals and messages. I wake up at different times. I go to bed at different times. And even though there's a crispness in the air and there's some readiness, because I know the fall is coming, there's always this surprise inside of me and a bit of a resistance. And I feel that resistance, and oh, my body is used to the warmth. I've got my clothes set and everything. And then all of a sudden, everything starts to change. So for me, for about a week, I really feel that resistance happening. It's kind of a back and forth. And I'm describing this because this is my experience in my parenting. Even though there's certain stages that I'm ready for them to shift out of with my daughter, all the stages that she went through, even though there's some readiness because I know they're happening from, eating no solid foods to solid foods, from crawling to walking, from no talking to talking, to less dependence, more self reliance, even though I'm looking forward to those, I get in this kind of rut or rhythm of seeing things the way they are. And how that plays out often, or did play out in my parenting, can still play out today, is I start to kind of crystallize my view of my daughter. I start to come to conclusions. I start to put meaning to certain movement. And I lose my flexibility or my capacity to stay open to, what might be revealing itself that I'm not paying attention to because I've gotten used to, just like I talk about the weather, I've kind of gotten used to the way things are. And I've stopped being quite so in the present moment. I kind of just go along. My body's kind of used to how it is. We have a little rhythm going. Something's feeling good. And I'm thinking, ooh, we got this. And then all of a sudden, kind of like the fall, things start to shift and change. And it is a transition. So I'm talking about this today because I know you have transitions. I know we talk about transitions in children all the time and how to be with them. But I want to support you today in recognizing the transitions you're going through with each developmental stage that your child goes through, with your developmental stages, with the weather, with all kinds of things, school, no school, just to honor the transitions that are happening in your life. And I'm going to support you in finding or just bringing awareness to your transitional patterns of the resistance. My experiences and most, even as I say, even the things I really love to do, if like get on a plane and travel somewhere, there always is this part of me that is quite resistant because I'm comfortable where I am. And that can come across in my parenting sometimes. I can get really comfortable where I am. And when there's a transition, especially in my daughter's development, it takes some time to open back up, to respond in a new and different way. My daughter's transitioning right now into a new developmental stage in her life. And even though it's very, very exciting to watch, I can see how I have a little resistance to it because I still have this expectation that it's going to be the way it was before. So this week, just take some time to just notice, just bring awareness. A lot of what we do in Pure Joy is just bring awareness to what is. We're not trying to fix it or change it or manipulate it. When we're bringing our awareness to it, it may change as we bring that awareness, but just open up to the possibility of seeing if you're feeling some resistance right now, if you're feeling some difficulties, kind of like with the weather in your parenting. If you experience that, I'm going to support you in really offering yourself just the gentlest, loving kindness. Yesterday I went out to pick up some warm clothes, and it felt so good to have warm clothes next to my body in that transition. So I gave myself something to support myself as I move into this colder time in the Western Hemisphere, at least. I know in other hemispheres it's summertime as we're heading into the winter time. But just to acknowledge and make space for the beautiful transitions that are happening all the time. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.